The information provided on this podcast is intended for general informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. While we discuss topics related to vegan health, diet, and fitness, always consult with a qualified healthcare provider or a registered dietitian before making any changes to your diet, fitness routine, or lifestyle, especially if you have existing health conditions.
Welcome to Good Vegan Meal, the podcast for lifelong vegans, people wanting to become vegan, or those interested in vegan living. We're here to make your lives better by giving you the information you need to succeed in your compassionate vegan lifestyle.
Today we're tackling a question, one that seems to pop up almost automatically whenever someone mentions a plant-based diet.
You mean the where do you get your protein question?
Exactly that one. It's such a common concern, really deeply rooted in how we traditionally think about food.
It is.
Yeah.
And look, many people are genuinely curious about exploring plant-based eating, and honestly, for good reason. The studies suggest some pretty significant health benefits.
Yeah, things like heart health, weight management.
Right. So our mission today is really to unpack this whole topic for you, get past the myths, and look at the actual science and the reality of plant power.
Absolutely. We've dug into a whole stack of sources, articles, dietitian meal plans, expert guides to give you a really comprehensive picture.
Hopefully with some surprising facts and practical tips along the way.
Yes. So let's kick things off with the absolute basics of protein itself. What exactly is protein, and why do our bodies need it so much anyway?
Okay, so at its core, protein is one of the three big macronutrients your body uses for energy. You've got carbs, fats, and protein.
Got it.
And protein itself is built from these 20 individual components called amino acids. Now, the crucial part is that 8 of these are called essential. Meaning your body can't actually make them itself. You absolutely must get them from the food you eat. And these amino acids are just vital for, well, countless functions in your body.
So it's not just about building muscles like we always hear. It sounds like it's involved in pretty much everything.
Precisely. Yeah, protein drives chemical reactions. It gives your cells their actual structure. And it's essential for making critical molecules like neurotransmitters, hormones, antibodies.
Wow.
It also helps move other molecules around where they need to go. And yes, it provides energy too. It's a real workhorse.
So how much do most of us actually need? Because I feel like I hear such conflicting numbers thrown around.
Yeah, that's a common point of confusion. The official dietary guidelines for Americans, the 2020 to 2025 ones, they suggest females aged 19 or older need at least 46 grams daily.
Okay.
And males 19 or older need at least 56 grams. As a sort of rough guide, protein should make up maybe 10 to 35% of your total daily food intake.
Can you give an example?
Sure. So like a 140-pound person following the US RDA, which is 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight, they'd need about 50 grams of protein a day.
Right.
But, and this is important, everyone's individual needs can vary. Depends on things like your body size, your activity level. It's not one size fits all.
Okay, but here's the thing that I found really eye-opening when we were digging into the sources. Most of us, it seems, are already getting more protein than we need.
That's absolutely right. There was a large study back in 2013 published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. It looked at the nutrient intake of over 71,000 people. And it found that on average, vegetarians and vegans get over 70 grams of protein daily.
70 grams. Wow, that's way over the 46 or 56 grams you mentioned.
Exactly. It's actually 70% more than the recommended daily amount for many people. And non-vegetarians, they get even more, nearly 80 grams on average.
So this idea of widespread protein deficiency.
It's largely a myth. Protein deficiency is almost exclusively seen in people who are suffering from a general calorie deficiency overall, just not getting enough food, period.
Yeah.
It's not typically from simply lacking protein-specific foods.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, let's tackle another big one. This myth I hear all the time, especially about plant-based diets, is about complete proteins.
Oh, yes, the protein combining myth.
Yeah, the idea that you have to carefully combine specific plant foods like rice and beans at every single meal to get all the essential amino acids. Is that really necessary?
What's fascinating here is just how, efficient your body actually is.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no need to meticulously combine specific foods at every meal. Really. Your body is like a master assembler. It breaks down the amino acids from all the different foods you eat throughout the day, and it builds them into the complete proteins it needs, all on its own. Any single whole natural plant food, or really any combination of them, if you ate just that for a whole day as your only calories,
Yeah.
it would provide all the essential amino acids,
Yeah.
often far more than the recommended amounts, actually. Think about gorillas.
Gorillas.
Yeah, they're pure herbivores.
Right.
And they're incredibly strong, like at least 6 times stronger than humans,
Yeah.
all fueled by plants.
That's a really powerful visual. Okay, so that leads us naturally to another common concern. Athletes. Surely they need more protein than a plant-based diet can easily provide.
That's a really important question, and the answer might be quite liberating for some people. Generally speaking, athletes can easily get enough protein on a whole food, plant-based diet.
Without powders and stuff.
Typically, yes. They don't usually need to rely on protein powders or bars, or even focus intensely on eating only super high protein foods.
So what do they need?
Mostly, athletes just need to eat more food overall. Their higher activity levels mean they need more of all nutrients, including protein, carbs, everything.
Huh.
And historically, think about Roman gladiators. They were famous for their strength, right? They were mostly vegetarian. Their diets were heavy in things like barley and beans. Plant-powered strength thousands of years ago.
And we've got amazing modern examples, too. People like Robert Cheek, the bodybuilder, or Rich Roll, that ultra-endurance guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And ultra runners like Matt Frazier and Fiona Oakes, they were all highlighted in that documentary, The Game Changers, all thriving, performing at elite levels on plant-based diets.
Incredible.
So we've pretty clearly established that the not enough idea for plant-based protein is, well, mostly unfounded. But that brings up the flip side.
Is there such a thing as too much protein? And does the source, animal versus plant, matter?
That's the crucial next question. So what does this all mean, as you put it, for our long-term health, especially when we talk about getting excess protein? Well, there's a growing body of research now demonstrating a pretty clear link between high animal protein intake and some serious health problems.
Like what?
We're talking increased risk of cancer, heart disease. One 2018 study associated regular meat consumption with a 60% increased risk.
60%.
Yeah. And also links to osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes, especially from animal sources inflammation, and even early death.
And wasn't there something about white meat, too? I thought that was supposed to be better.
Interestingly, some research shows white meat can be just as cholesterol-raising as red meat. And excess protein, especially from animals, often just gets stored as fat or turned into waste by the body.
So it's not necessarily used effectively.
Not always, no. There could even be hormonal effects. A 2022 meta-study found participants on low-carb, high-animal protein diets actually experienced a 17% decrease in testosterone levels.
Okay, that's quite a list of concerns for animal protein. But what about plants? Is it unhealthy to consume too much protein from, say, beans or tofu?
That's an area that honestly needs more research. But while the downsides of excess animal protein are pretty well documented, it's generally considered much less of a concern with plant protein.
Less of a concern, but maybe not zero.
Possibly. Some experts speculate that extremely high intakes of plant protein could potentially accelerate aging because of certain amino acids, like leucine and methionine. But importantly, animal protein sources are significantly higher in those specific amino acids anyway.
Got it. So the takeaway seems to be the risk is much higher with excess animal protein. Okay, so if the not enough protein worry is largely overblown, let's get to the exciting part. What are these amazing plant powerhouses that give us everything we need and make it taste good?
Right. And there's a truly vast and delicious array out there. Let's maybe break them down into some key categories, highlighting some real heroes.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Let's start with legumes and pulses. Think of these as your foundational plant proteins. Most of them give you a fantastic, 15-20 grams of protein per cooked cup, plus tons of fiber.
Okay, like what specifically?
Lentils are a true star. One cooked cup has 18 grams of protein, plus they're linked to better gut health, heart health, lower cholesterol, better blood sugar, just real health champions.
Lentils. What else?
Beans, of course.
Yeah.
Black beans give you 15 grams per cup, kidney beans about 13 grams.
Yeah.
Pinto beans, chickpeas. They're affordable, versatile, great stuff. Then there's edamame.
Oh, yeah, the green soybeans.
Exactly. Over 18 grams of protein per shelled cup. Plus fiber, magnesium, iron. Great snack.
Definitely. Okay, what's next?
How about soy-based products? These are often complete proteins and incredibly adaptable.
Like tofu.
Tofu, the ultimate chameleon. A quarter block gives you about 15 grams of protein or 20 grams per cup. Good source of iron and calcium, too. It just soaks up any flavor.
It really does. And tempeh.
Tempeh, made from fermented soybeans. It's super high in protein, 34 grams per cup. Really dense, nutty flavor. One of the richest soy options. And don't forget soy milk.
Right. Easy to add.
Yeah, about 6 grams of protein per cup, often fortified with calcium, D, B12. Just aim for unsweetened, fortified kinds if you can.
Good tip. What about grains? I don't usually think of grains for protein.
But you should. Grains and pseudo-cereals can bring significant protein. Take seitan, for example.
Wheat meat, right?
That's the one, made from wheat gluten. It's one of the richest plant sources, about 25 grams per 3.5 ounces. Also gives you selenium, iron. Obviously not for gluten-sensitive folks, though.
Obviously. What else in the grain world?
Quinoa. Technically a seed, but we treat it like a grain. A cooked cup has about 8 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, and it is a complete protein.
Good old quinoa.
Then things like whole wheat pasta, about 7 grams per cup, plus fiber, B vitamins, and oats.
Oats for protein?
Yep, about 6 grams per cooked cup, plus that beta-glucan fiber, which is great for cholesterol. You can even use oats as an egg replacer in baking sometimes.
I didn't know that. And what about that Ezekiel bread?
Right, made from sprouted grains and legumes. 2 slices pack about 8 grams of protein. Sprouting actually boosts nutrients and reduces anti-nutrients. Pretty cool stuff.
Very cool. Okay, moving on. Nuts and seeds. Always hear they're good.
Definitely. Nuts and seeds are excellent sources of both protein and healthy fats, so they're super satisfying. Most give you around 5 to 9 grams of protein per ounce.
Any standouts?
Hemp seeds are amazing. 3 tablespoons have over 9 grams of protein. A great balance of omega-3s and 6s, and they're a complete protein.
Hemp hearts, yeah.
Pumpkin seeds or pepitas.
Yeah.
About 8 grams per ounce plus lots of magnesium and good old peanut butter.
A classic.
2 tablespoons give you about 7 grams of protein, healthy fats, manganese, vitamin E. Just try to get brands without lots of added oil or sugar.
Good advice. Okay, are there any other sort of miscellaneous protein boosters we should know about?
Oh yeah, a few other notables. How about nutritional yeast?
Nooch. Love that stuff for cheesy flavor.
Exactly. And it's a complete protein source, 8 grams per half-ounce serving, plus loads of B vitamins, often fortified with B12, which is crucial for vegans.
Essential. What else?
Green peas. Maybe surprising, but nearly 9 grams of protein per cooked cup. That's actually a bit more than a cup of dairy milk.
Get out. Peas.
Yep, peas.
Yeah.
Plus fiber, vitamins. Then there's mycoprotein.
That's the stuff in corn, right?
Right. Derived from a fungus. Yeah. Typically 15-16 grams of protein per 3.5 ounces plus fiber. Just check labels, as some products might contain egg white, though most are vegan now.
Good to know. And finally, what about just regular fruits and veggies? Do they contribute?
They do. They aren't protein titans on their own, but many common veggies add up. Things like broccoli, spinach, asparagus, potatoes, Brussels sprouts, they often have 4 or 5 grams per cooked cup.
Okay, so it all adds up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even some fruits like guava or blackberries chip in a couple of grams. It contributes to the total throughout the day.
Wow. Okay, that's a really impressive list. Much more diverse than I think people realize.
Definitely.
So we filled our mental pantry with all these possibilities. Now, how do we actually put this into practice? How do we make sure we're getting enough protein consistently and, making meals that are actually delicious and satisfying?
Right, the practical side. It's important to acknowledge that while getting enough protein is totally achievable, intakes can sometimes be lower if you're not mindful about it.
Just because plants are less protein dense, gram for gram?
Exactly. That Epic Oxford study we mentioned earlier, it did find a higher percentage of vegetarians and vegans had technically inadequate protein intakes compared to meat and fish eaters. It's not impossible to fall short if you aren't paying some attention.
And this links to a common challenge, doesn't it? Not just what you eat, but when. Like saving all your protein for dinner.
Precisely. So many people load up on protein at their evening meal, but spacing it out more evenly between meals actually has benefits for muscle health and even regulating your appetite.
So less feeling hungry between meals.
Potentially, yes. And we often see that breakfasts and snacks are the times when protein intake tends to be lowest for plant-based eaters.
Okay, so give us some concrete examples then. How can we boost protein in those trickier meals like breakfast and snacks?
Sure. For breakfast, instead of just cereal, maybe try a hearty scrambled tofu on some seeded sourdough toast. Add hot sauce, veggies.
Sounds good.
Or prep some vegan freezer breakfast burritos ahead of time. Even just boosting your morning oats with a scoop of peanut butter or a handful of nuts makes a difference.
Simple enough. And snacks.
Think portable stuff. Roasted chickpeas or edamame are great. crunchy, satisfying. A whole meal bagel with peanut butter or hummus. Or simply pairing fruit like an apple with some almond butter.
Easy wins. Okay, beyond specific foods, are there broader strategies, ways to just weave more plant protein into everyday cooking without, like, overhauling everything?
Absolutely. A great way is to start with what's familiar. If you usually make a soup or stew or casserole with meat as the main event,
Yeah.
just gradually start increasing the amount of veggies, beans, or lentils in there as you reduce the meat portion. Use the same sauces you love.
Oh, that's smart. So the flavors stay familiar.
That's exactly. Buffalo sauce, marinara, barbecue, tikka masala. They all work great with plant proteins like tofu, tempeh, or beans. Also, explore traditional recipes.
From where?
Think about cuisines from Greece, India, Italy, Mexico, Asia. So many of their traditional dishes are naturally packed with plant-based protein and have been for centuries. Lentil dolls, bean stews, pasta e fagioli.
That's a great point. Less reinventing the wheel. And what about texture and flavor? Sometimes people miss that hearty, savory quality.
Good question. For a heartier texture, try adding things like mushrooms, especially portobellos, jackfruit, eggplant, even chunks of carrot or artichoke hearts can add substance.
Okay.
And for those deep, savory umami flavors, use things like sun-dried tomatoes, winter squash, butternut, or acorn more mushrooms, sweet potatoes, olives, corn, or toasted nuts.
Toasted nuts. Interesting.
Yeah, brings out the richness. Also, don't underestimate slowly sautéing onions in olive oil until they get really brown and caramelized, and just using more herbs, spices, garlic, really amp up the flavor profile.
Makes sense. Okay, a quick but important note. What about all those processed meat alternatives? Burgers, sausages, etc. Are they a good way to get protein?
They can be convenient, no doubt,
Sure.
but their nutritional content, including the protein, varies hugely from product to product.
So plant-based doesn't automatically mean healthy.
Not at all. While a meat alternative is generally, a better environmental and maybe ethical choice than actual meat, it's best not to rely on them too often.
Why is that?
Many can be packed with ultra-processed ingredients, sodium, saturated fat. Eating plants closer to their whole basic forms is usually the healthiest approach. Think beans, lentils, tofu, tempeh first.
Right, use the alternatives more sparingly. We actually heard from one listener who tried consciously increasing their plant protein.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and they reported feeling super full and satiated after meals, which cut down their snacking. They even felt their exercise performance improved.
That's great to hear. It aligns with the benefits of distributing protein better.
Exactly. Their big takeaway was that with just a little thought and planning, especially focusing on protein at breakfast and snacks, it was much easier than they expected. Tofu and tempeh became their best friends, prepared in different ways.
See? It's totally doable and can make a real difference.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it seems pretty clear, doesn't it? The worry about getting enough protein on a vegan or plant-based diet is, well, for most people, largely unfounded.
Definitely. Our sources really show this vast, delicious world of plant-based protein powerhouses. They're abundant, they're versatile.
And a carefully planned, varied plant-only diet can absolutely give your body all the protein it needs, often even more than the recommended amounts.
Right, while also delivering all those extra vitamins, minerals, fiber, things that boost overall health in so many ways. The key really is just awareness and variety. Don't eat the same 3 things every day.
Indeed. So thinking about everything we've explored today, all those benefits, all those diverse sources, what's maybe one new plant-based protein you, our listener, might be inspired to try in your next meal?
Yeah, maybe it's lentils, maybe it's tempeh, maybe it's just adding hemp seeds to your smoothie.
And how might trying that one new thing start to change how you think about building your plate? Something to chew on.
Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode of Good Vegan Meal. If you loved what you heard and you're hungry for more, head over to our link tree at linktr.ee/goodveganmeal. There you can grab our free PDF 30 high-protein vegan 5-minute meals packed with quick recipes and full nutritional stats for every meal. Perfect for busy days and plant-powered gains. And if you're ready to take your vegan cooking game to the next level, check out our cookbook's 125-minute vegan meals for kids' lunches, a school lunchbox lifesaver. 185-minute vegan meals and 7 weeks of high-protein meals with meal planning made simple with grocery lists for each week. Grab your goodies at linktr.ee/goodveganmeal, and we'll see you in the next episode.